All right, join me for the last math on the spot of the year. You need scratch paper. Follow along. Here we go. Last one.
Mimi, Mimi, Mimi. Where are you, Mimi? Oh, hi. Have you seen my pet fish, Mimi? He got out of the bowl, and now he's just kind of prancing around somewhere, and I'm a little concerned he should get in that bowl, because he is a meanie fish. But actually reminds me, speaking of Mimi and fish, it reminds me of a wonderful story about Susanna, who actually wanted to purchase fish, and in fact, the story involves the Mimi. Okay, well, help me find Mimi afterwards, will you please? Because I really want to find him. I'm a little bit worried that he might get mean. All right, let's take a look and see some fish and a mean. Well, Susanna wants to buy a fish that grows to be about 4 inches long. Now, Mark suggests that she buys the same fish that he has. Now, he has 5 of these fish of lengths 1 inch, 1 inch, 6 inch, 6 inch, and 6 inch. Those are the lengths of the fish. With a mean length of 4 inches. You see, there's the 4 inches. Question is, should Susanna buy the type of fish that Mark suggests? So let's think about this together. So Mark has 5 fish, and their lengths are 1 inch, 1 inch, 6 inch, 6 inch, and 6 inch. Now Susanna wants to buy a fish that's going to grow to be about 4 inches long. Well, so what Mark says is, well, wait a minute. Look at the mean length of my fish. So let's think of this now as data. There's 5 pieces of data, and so how would you find the mean? Well, the way you would find the mean, if you have 5 pieces of data, is you would add up all those numbers, which is really easy. It's 1 plus 1 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. That's 18, and 2 is 20. And if we divide by the number, which is 5, then we see we get 4, and so voila, bling! The mean length of Mark's fish, in fact, is 4 inches. And she wants a 4-inch fish. So Mark says, buy my fish, this type of fish. What do we think about this? Well, actually, I think that all the math is correct, but the conclusion, not so much. Because if you look carefully, what we see is that Mark's fish kind of fall into 2 categories. The fish that are small, namely 1 inch each, and then the fish that grow up to be quite large, 6 inches each. Now it turns out that the mean, or this numerical average, this measure of center, is in fact 4 inches. But what this is actually showing us is something really interesting. That in fact, we can have a data set that has a particular mean value, and yet there is absolutely no datum in that set that actually has that exact value. Meaning that, in fact, the average value might not be one of the values in the data set. In this case, you could see that his data set has really large values and small values, and they average out somewhere in between. But in fact, none of the fish really are 4 inches. And so, what I would think is that, in fact, since the mean lengths of Mark's fish is 4 inches, notice that none of them, in fact, are that length. They're either longer or shorter. And so my conclusion is that Susanna probably should not buy the type of fish that Mark suggests, because, in fact, they either grow up to be really, really big and strong, or really, really tiny and maybe still strong, but certainly not 4 inches. So it's interesting to remember that the mean might not be one of the numbers in your data set. It'll just be kind of the center point, if you will. Anyway, thinking about the mean is really important because it allows us to see large collections of data in a very simple way, and more importantly, it allows us to make good decisions based on the data. In this case, what kind of fish to buy. And speaking of mean and speaking of fish, did you see my fish Mimi? I really need to get Mimi back in his bowl. And oh, wait a minute! He's swimming up right now. Wait a minute, here he comes. Oh, Mimi. Oh, Mimi, I missed you. Now, are you really a meanie fish or not? If you're a meanie fish, do something mean. Told you. You are such a mean fish. Do you want to go back? All right, stop showing off. All right. Well, Meanie's a mean fish, but now Meanie's happy because Meanie is back in his home. Have fun thinking about the means in your life, and I'll see you soon.
All right, thanks for watching, and I won't see you on the next Math on the Spot.